Are you going to jail because of your birth certificate? A legal and structural analysis of estate misidentification. 1. The legal function of a birth certificate. The birth certificate, commonly misunderstood as a simple record of birth, functions as a certificate of title within the legal commercial matrix. It serves as an instrument of title for the estate created in your name, akin to a certificate for property such as a vehicle or vessel. Possession of an authenticated birth certificate establishes both legal and equitable title to the associated estate. When entering court, failure to distinguish oneself as the beneficiary of this estate can result in misclassification as a trustee or surety, positions which entail liability rather than benefit. 2. Judicial presumption and trust role reversal. Courts operate on a presumption of administrative necessity when individuals fail to properly assert their estate beneficiary status. A respondent who identifies themselves using the all-caps name, e.g., John Doe, or responds in any role other than agent for the estate is deemed to have voluntarily accepted the roles of trustee and surety. In such capacity, one becomes liable for the obligations of the estate. Consequently, judges lawfully assume the position of executor de son tort, administering what is presumed to be an abandoned or intestate estate. 3. Probate jurisdiction and the presumption of death. The legal fiction of presumed death underpins much of the probate jurisdiction invoked in modern courts. Failure to assert one's status as a living, competent man or woman results in the court operating under the presumption that the estate is unclaimed. As such, probate courts, masquerading as civil or criminal venues, proceed to manage the estate as if the individual were legally deceased. This enables usufruct rights, the temporary, often exclusive, commercial benefit derived by the state from the estate. 4. Trading judicial instruments on financial markets. Unclaimed estates are leveraged through municipal courts acting as de facto corporate administrators. Upon default or judgment, courts assign monetary value to the case via bonding processes. These bonds are then monetized and traded on Wall Street through court trading accounts. Thus, every misidentified respondent becomes a source of commercial revenue. With no proper rebuttal, courts lawfully initiate transactions based on the estate's bonded value. 5. Reverse trust schemes and legal misidentification. Reverse trust fraud occurs when a public trustee, e.g., judge or prosecutor, usurps the position of the rightful beneficiary through a legal fiction. This exploitation is only enforceable due to voluntary participation, often unknowingly, by the individual. Through the act of hiring an attorney or failure to explicitly claim beneficiary status, one forfeits standing, tacitly agreeing to be the trustee or surety. The attorney, as a court officer, confirms incompetence and incapacity by speaking on one's behalf. 6. Legal constructs and symbolic misdirection. The entire system hinges on name simulation, using legally indistinct but jurisdictionally divergent representations, e.g., John Henry Doe versus John Henry Doe. This manipulation begins with state-issued identification and persists through institutional conditioning. From early childhood, societal mechanisms train individuals to submit to perceived authority, ensuring perpetuation of this misidentification. Media and formal education reinforce the narrative of government as master, when in law it is servant. 7. Correcting legal status through beneficiary assertion. The key to resolving this structural deception lies in reclaiming one's status as living beneficiary. Presenting authenticated documentation and verbally asserting non-consent to corporate jurisdiction precludes automatic classification as a trustee. Respondents must enter court solely in special appearance and reject any offers to contract, explicitly reaffirming their status as holder of the equitable title to the estate. Proper language and peaceful conduct are essential to avoid jurisdictional forfeiture. 8. Judicial theater, financial incentives, and the path forward. Ultimately, the courts function as revenue-generating enterprises under municipal corporate charters. Every defendant who fails to rebut the presumption of incompetence feeds this commercial mechanism. The judicial system, devoid of lawful Article 3 jurisdiction, engages in a form of legalized asset trafficking under the guise of statutory justice. It is incumbent upon the educated layman or legal reformer to engage this system wisely, with knowledge, integrity, and lawful claim of one's equitable estate.